Hi, welcome to another of my sharing. Today's topic, I will be talking about this upcoming luxury launch called Jervois Mansion. Yes, I've talked about location not being that important in my previous sharing because of the changing macro climate in Singapore. But I have to say for Jervois Mansion, based on the information that I've received, the price, the layouts, the facade, the quality, the units, planning, I tell you, it's fantastic. It's really attractive. So if this is something that really interests you, please stay true with me through this entire video, because this is quite initial phase. The actual viewing will only be out, will only be conducted at the start of October. Okay, so Jervois Mansion is located in this very prestigious, obviously, Jervois location. Right, if you know the Jervois location, this is District 10 at the border of District 3. What is very unique over here, it's really about the tranquility, the privateness, the quietness of this location, because it's surrounded by good class bungalows and embassies. Okay, and it's also a short vicinity, it's a short drive, or you can even run or jog down this park connector to the River Valley location. Obviously, Great World City is over here. It's a revamped Great World City. There's many amenities, many shops, and the MRT station, the Thomson East Coast Line, is opening in phases. So you get the best of both worlds. I'll put it this way, because beside this luxury, the more upmarket kind of amenities, because it's at the border of District 3, the Redhill and Tiong Bahru location, you can always access the markets, the Tiong Bahru markets below, the Redhill market below, if you are local and you just want some local fares. Okay, but it's still in the District 10 location. All right, but for Jervois per se, I would say for a good launch, a good size development launch, it's been quite some time since one Jervois, easily more than 10 years. The last few ones are all apartment status. And I have a slight issue with apartment status because people tend to just buy it based on its freehold status, or perhaps just buy it because of the location. It's just very rare to have, maybe they just want a piece of this particular location. But that's a concern, because sometimes the developer may be just building that for sale, for making money, and it's just a typical cookie clutter, a concrete kind of development without much differentiation, without much, a story behind it or design behind it. And it doesn't flow through the years. It may look nice at the start, but over time, the value does not hold, because it doesn't stand out as compared to the rest. But for Jervois Mansion alone, in this map, you realize that actually the land size is huge. It's very, very rare. I just want to emphasize that. So the keyword over here, it's very rare to have this large plot of freehold land. We are talking about almost 100,000 square feet and 93,000 square feet. And this line, Jervois Close, okay, beyond this, where my arrow is pointing, you can only, for apartments, in condos, you can build probably maximum of 5-story high. Below, like one Jervois is slightly above 10, can go slightly higher. Okay, but the Jervois Mansion site, the height limit is 5-story. So this is fantastic, because you got a very big piece of land, almost 100,000 square feet, and the developer can only build up to 5 stories high. So it creates a very, very low dense development. And this is something that is very sought after in this location. So the product type is important. The product type must suit the demographic wants and needs in the particular location. Okay, so in this location, we know that probably people want to be staying in a very nice big apartment with good landscaping, with good facilities, with good land space in general, right? And Jervois Mansion actually is able to do that. Okay, you can see over here, Principal Garden is District 3, but just next to it is a phenomenal success in how they did the landscaping, the 80-20 rule, and it has been so well received, although it's also 99 years. So this is very important, because the matching of the product type to the location must be done well by the developer. If it's not done well, the value does not stay. Okay, one good example I would say is the Leiden project in the Leiden area. First up, it is 99 years surrounded by freehold. It has too many units, 1,007 if I'm not wrong. It feels rather mass market. Of course, there's other attributes on why it didn't do that well. In terms of the pricing, it was up and down pricing and how the developer tried to garner interest over the years. But I guess the product type didn't really suit the people over there somehow. So the development must be a good match for that location. And I think Jervois mentioned has done it very well. Okay. So as mentioned, over almost 100,000 square feet of land. It's only 6 blocks, and then maximum of 5-story, and only 130 units. With 130 units, I find that it's a very sweet spot for this project in this location. Too little units, 50 and below, you'll probably find that your maintenance cost will go up, will escalate very high in the future. Maybe not for the first 5 years because it's new, but after the 5 years mark, there's a lot of more structural rectification and repairs that you need to do. But you don't want to be above maybe 200-300 in this location because it's not a good match for the vibes in this particular location. This location, as mentioned, it must be a bit low dense. It must have the kind of private, tranquil feel that people want. So 130 is kind of like the sweet spot. Not too low, so that maintenance cost will be kept low, but not too high, so that it's not as dense as the other mass market condos. Okay, so it also flows to the unit types over here, which I think they've done very well. You don't want the 1 and 2 bedrooms to be to fill up too many of the unit mix. Okay, and you can see very well that it's spread very nicely from 1 bedroom all the way up to 5 bedroom. I think there's almost equal percentage share in the small, medium size and big units. That is perfect. Some developers, they just want to do as many 1 and 2 just to sell it out because of the quantum play so that people can buy affordably. But when it comes up onto the resale market, the mix of the people staying there, if there's too many tenants, it doesn't feel right. You want to have good mix all around. Okay, so I think they really achieve it very nicely over here from 1 bedroom all the way up to 5 bedroom. So you can see from the site plan, almost 100,000 square feet in land, 6 blocks. A developer probably in the modern days, if they have such a land, they will probably pack maybe just 2 blocks and then squeeze all the units in maybe up to 10, up to 20 units in 1 block for a single floor plate. Then it makes it feel very hostel and student accommodation living. But over here, they segregate based on the courtyard being separated by the different courtyards, and how most of the blocks over here, they have maximum of 4 units. Some like this have 2 units. Some over here have have 3 units sharing what I mean, the 2 and 3 units on a single level. Just only 1 block that has slightly more units, but I think they have done very well in the aspect to make it very exclusive. Okay, and it's also connected right at the top above the 5th floor, the rooftop gardens, not being isolated as one, but letting it connect to each other so that you don't need to actually travel to that particular block to access that particular facilities. You can just go up and then it'll be all connected throughout. And it's really also to make use of the low building height over here so that you have more facilities in general. Okay, so the team, I think what they have planned, the developer have planned over here, it's a black and white design, and then being accompanied by tons of greenery, large greeneries, because this is the surrounding over here, there's a lot of trees. And also they incorporated this thing at the crest that's not too far away, the communal planters. That means all these planters are not maintained by the individual owners, they are maintained by the management, the MCST. Okay, so it really creates a very, very green feel of this development. it looks very homely, something that you really want to stay. But I mean, just based on this facade, it looks very beautiful already. So some of the courtyards, the central area, the landscaping, you can see over here. This is one of the pool deck area with the building, the black and white building as the facade, and the communal plants. I think it's done very, very well. Right? Clubhouse area, look at this rooftop photos. Okay, so we have always a lot of new launches here and there. Mostly they will have a few artist impression, maybe up to 20, even for those huge size condo. But this one which has only 130 units, I'm looking at look at all the professional facades, the artist impression that they have given. They have, I think, over 30 to 40 artist impression. I think this shows the attention to details, how nicely they have done it, and how proud they are of their project, because it is being done so beautifully, and they would just want to showcase and show it out to people out there. So I'm not even attaching everything over here. I mean, just showing you some of it. Okay, you can see it's really designed very nicely. Okay, so right smack into the facts and figures. The preliminary prices, okay, the from pricing that they're giving, I think is very attractive. One bedroom in terms of the quantum wise is starting from 1.1 plus, and then you have two bedrooms starting from 1.6. Per square foot basis, you're looking at maybe even as low as 2002 plus, probably 2002 to 2003. When you look at these prices that they have given, as compared to the other new launches in the market right now, you find that it's really a steal. It's hard to say. I don't really like to use the word cheap, because cheap is just absolute. I'd rather use the word value, because value is relative. You can compare the prices to the other prices, the other new launches prices. You look at the Jervois location, like Petit Jervois, Jervois Treasure, right? Even in the River Valley area, the Grange area, some of these smaller developments, they're doing easily 2,007 per square feet. So to start from 2.2 to 2.3 PSF, I think it's a steal. Yeah, I'm going to use the word cheap over here. And this is, again, on top of what I've been saying so far. So if you know me, I don't really just look at one factor. I look at a lot of other factors. If price is, of course, price is an important determinant. You want to look at the other attributes, the planning, the units, and the things like that. Okay, but so far I think pricing, even you compare with the new launches, the old new launches, which supposed to have the old price tag. I think a developer right now for a freehold one, if they launch at this price, I hope it's not a bid, but I think it's very attractive. Okay, and then it's so attractive, you can even compare with the resale around. All right, I talk about Principal Garden being a very successful development in how they did the landscaping, the facade, the planning, right? It's a 99 years condo, same as the Crest, and they're doing 1,009 to almost 2,000 per square feet already. This is just over the Park Connector at District 3, 99 years lease. A very old condo, one Jervois. Okay, not very old, I would say 10 plus years already. It's also already at 1,008, and I can tell you it's not as beautifully designed as what we have at Jervois Mansion. And then RV Residences, a typical just cookie cutter kind of concrete structure up along the River Valley area. It's averaging around 2,000 per square feet. I think some of the units layout may not be the best out there. Okay, so these are already some of the prices at the 2,000 range. So if you have something again at 2002 to 2003 starting from with such fantastic design, huge land plot, new concept, I think it's very attractive. Okay, so what are the concerns that I have? I always try to give a very valid viewpoint, both pros and cons. So what are the cons out there? The waiting time, obviously, if you are someone who really needs a place immediately, this may not suit you, because I think it will be only ready in 2025 or 2026. Because right now, Jervois Mansion is a current development whereby the developer themselves are renting out. It has yet to be pulled down, if I'm not wrong. All right. and maybe a bit of developer risk. Okay, this plot of land, the history behind it. Okay, the reason why why this particular freehold land is so big is because they own it as a form of legacy. It's not from an en bloc. If it's en bloc, I believe the prices will not be so cheap, right? So, but because this is a legendary land, this particular developer, the Keyman Realty, it's not your household big time developer like CapitaLand and CDL. Okay, but I believe they have been in the property market. The one heading this developer, it's a very well-respected architect, if I'm not wrong. So they are very experienced in this field. In fact, they have been doing property through the years. I think they have boutique hotels, they have shop houses, they have a lot of offices, things like that. So they are not a newcomer in this space. Probably in terms of development, yes, in certain sense, but not someone that is evergreen in this space. Okay. No tennis court. Yes, this development, although the land size is big, they didn't put in a tennis court. Is it a factor? I think it's up to you to decide. To me, I don't think it's much of an issue, to be honest. Lack of transformation, yes, in a certain way, because this location, it's already a very established location. You're not talking about like your Greater Southern Waterfront, like your Paya Lebar, your Beauty World location, your Woodlands Regional Center. You don't have this kind of transformation in this area. But then again, remember, you must compare apple to apple. When you're comparing the Jervois area, you want to be comparing with the River Valley side, the Green side, the Cane Hill side, the Ardmore side. You will realize that all these locations, generally, you don't have much transformation. It's already a very established private estate. But what we have in Jervois, I think it's at least you have the Thompson East Coast Line, you have your Great World City. It's close proximity to the River Valley, the Robertson Key area. That's something that the Cane Hill and Ardmore and even the Balmoral side doesn't offer. Okay, maintenance fee. I talk about this, but luckily we are not less than 100 units, we're not less than 50 units, we are still at 130 units. But the fact is, if you're looking at the facade, everything that's planned very beautifully, I think the maintenance fee won't be cheap. But then again, people who choose to stay here, who choose to buy a very beautiful unit like this, maybe maintenance fee is not an issue to them at all. They rather everything to be planned out nice, to have quality finishes. Okay. The concern as a buyer, it's not enough units. I think that's a fact. 130 units. If you look at the unit mix just now, if I may just flash through, sorry. Yeah, if look at the unit mix over here, if you want something that's a small unit for investment or 2-bedroom that start from 1.6, they are very limited. I think based on this price point, we expect the demand to be quite overwhelming. And even for the developer himself, understand that they will be keeping some units for their own use and even to rent it out because they own this piece of land. So they are not being slapped by any of this penalty, like the ABSD penalty, that you can't finish selling within 5 years. So they don't have all this penalty and they're okay to keep the units. So these are the concerns. But what are the pros? Actually, I talked about it right from the start just now, and to really summarize them, I'll just put it out over here. You can see first up, it's very rare. Again, this big plot of freehold land at almost 100,000 square feet. A good fit in this location, not many units. It's not too dense. It's designed beautifully, the black and white style, the greeneries. A lot of people is looking in this location. They want something like that to stay in, especially now with working from home. Okay, quality finishes. I went to see I previewed the show flat. I think it's beautiful what they are providing in terms of the tiles, in terms of the finishes. I think it's really, really top quality over here. Okay, undervalued in the sense of the pricing. You've seen something starting from 1.1 plus for 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, and 1.6 for freehold in this location, brand new, per square foot of 2002 to 2003. It's just undervalued. All right, vested interest. All right, it's con over here because there may not be enough units for one to buy. But the fact that if the developer is keeping units for themselves, to rent out or maybe to use it for their own, I'm not too sure, or to sell in the future eventually, it shows that they are confident in their product, all right? And they will not want to, they can't afford to do it wrong in that sense. So it's a good sign that there's some vested interest in this project. And also vested interest in the sense that if I mentioned that this is a legacy land, I think there's some sentimental value that they want to really treasure. That's why they spend so much effort to design and build this development. So all in all, having vested interest in this development from the developer, I think is a very good thing if you're a buyer. Okay. And lastly, of course, comes with quality. It's stunning. Not just the quality that they're putting on, how they really plan out the development. You really have to see it. Well, I think even from some of these online materials, without even looking at the actual thing, you can feel that it's really very beautiful because of the land size and then coupled with how they plan it up. Yeah, so this is a quick review of the Jervois mansion. All right, I hope you have stayed with me through. I hope you have learned something. And if you are keen, please do reach out to me. I think this is something that will be snapped up fast. And yeah. All right, I'll see you soon for our next sharing. Thank you and bye.